you're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. These teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired, but you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Fires to the big fella. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
The Huskers will send out the punt unit. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Hauls it in at the 25. Slips through the line. Michigan, stealing a score on special teams. Now that is a play that will get your sidelines into the game with that touchdown.
And you could see once he left everybody in the dust and he was going to the house, the sidelines going nuts. What a big-time play to take the lead. Defense did its job. Now special teams coming through in a big way.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes with the return. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Wants to throw on first down. Finds a man on the left. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They moved the chains. They mark it at the 29. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. To the air on first down. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
And that's not a good sign for this offense. You gave up 4 sacks a week ago. Now you're already getting your quarterback hit. They've got to protect their dude. They got to give him more time so he can make plays down the field. Protection is the biggest issue for this offense.
And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's a heat. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete. The Cornhuskers will try to pin them back with the punt. The last time they punted, it went back for 6. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. The Wolverines offense will have its first possession of the game. And guys, as this year has gone on, it has become harder and harder to ignore the excellence that this quarterback is putting out there each and every week.
Well, the secret's out now, and I think at the start of the year, everybody knew this guy was talented. They wanted to see if he could be consistent, though, and David, he's been that through the first half of the season. So now he's got the target on his back. He's got to elevate his play because everybody knows he's what makes this offense go.
But he's got to do it when it matters most, and that's when we start talking about winning conference championships at the end of the year, getting into the playoffs. So great start, great middle. How he finishes will determine whether he's going to be at that Heisman ceremony.
Looking downfield on first down. Hauls it in. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Guys, let's chat about Michigan. It's been a season to remember so far, fresh off their new top 10 ranking. How far can this team go?
Well, they're starting to...
And he's brought down after a nice game.
And this offense is built around this dude. I mean, he is in command of the offense, and that's why he's putting up big numbers, and that's why he's got a real chance to go to New York and try to win that Heisman Trophy.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. And the Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Using the quick game. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening first and goal from the 9. The Wolverines didn't start this drive with great field position, but they find a little bit of running room before they get him down. They moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Trying to bully their way in. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on third here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
Fourth down and goal from the 3. The playbook is pretty much wide open here. Dances away. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Wolverines.
And I love it. This offense making no bones about it. We're going to be aggressive. We get the ball down in the red zone, fourth and goal, Palmer. Stay aggressive. They run the football, and they get the touchdown.
And that's the shocking thing, David, is that on fourth down, they have supreme confidence in this offensive line to win up front, one-on-one, get some push, and then how about the ball carrier just finding his way into the end zone?
Let's see if he can make a play on the return. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. They go to the ground. And the defense had his hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the first down. Bottled him up, not a whole lot of room to run on that return, and that's how this period will come to an end. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. They wanted to strike first and strike hard, and they've been able to do that here in the first quarter as we take a look at the stats. Oh, he's got some space. Finding open areas. Touchdown, Michigan! He got loose, and it was lights out after that.
And I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd. Man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet in here.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking at this point, David.
Yeah, nothing went well in the first quarter. You just say refresh. Like, let's try to find a way now, chip into this lead, try to make it somewhat manageable when you get to the half.
Looking down the middle. Got his hand. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
He gets a little bit of work done. He goes out of bounds at the 42.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, running back gets to give. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? And the Huskers want to crank the tempo. Snap from the gun on 3rd down. Flips it out in the flat. Really strong job by the defense. A negative play on 3rd down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. They make the stop, but there is a penalty marker down. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul. Looking to kick. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So the offense keeps this drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. Wants to go up top on first down. And here's a fumble way behind the line.
Man, and this is why you practice 5 points of pressure with the football. You cannot put the ball on the ground. Doesn't matter how many defenders are around you or how hard you get hit. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win games.
DB's locked up tight on the receivers. Throws to the wideout. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
Deep shot for the end zone. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. And they'll send out the field goal unit. Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. After the missed field goal, still down by 21 points, guys. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. He'll pull it down. Looking for room at the 40. They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run, too, and he's got a first down. They came out hot on this drive. One play and already near midfield. Makes the grab on the left. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Well, late in the year, this guy is square in the middle of the Heisman Trophy discussion because of his performance. He throws a nice completion there for a first down, but it's been week in, week out. Big moments. He's led this team to a ton of wins. He is their best player.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Here's the pressure. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Grabbed in the middle, it's Williams. Working their way closer and closer, a 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. And the Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. Caught in the backfield, it's Williams. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Wolverines! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
I think there were a lot of doubters that wondered how this team was going to be able to handle this environment and whether or not they could find success early in this game. They have proved all of those doubters wrong. They have been dominant in every phase, on offense, on defense, and on special teams, and they are piling it on here.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Hold and finds his man on the left. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. It's a 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Past the first down marker and still running. He now has 91 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing. Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. Lets it fly deep downfield. And couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Pressure coming. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
Well, that's one the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like they can run that play in their sleep, not able to connect there.
Makes the grab. It's Woods. Goes out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the edge of the red zone right at the 20. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Finds a man all alone. They'll run play action. On target to the left. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line. First down here for the offense. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires toward the end zone. Touchdown, miss. They'll run the option. Oh, and he can't hold the pitch, and the ball's loose. Offense scoops it up and still going.
It's so hard to force fumbles, and when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling, you're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
At the 45, on his way. And he is marked out of bounds after another big gain. This aerial attack has had no problem moving the ball with chunk plays. They build their attack around those big plays, and they got one to give them a 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 18. Looking to throw on 1st down. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. He didn't look open as it is, and the QB's trying to make a play, trying to force the ball, but at least he threw it where his guy could catch it or nobody could catch it.
Got enough space, and he's... Here's the handoff. They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. They have a 1st down at the 41-yard line. Quarterback making adjustments. Wants to throw on 1st down. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, we want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheel.
Fires one high and deep. Makes the grab. All wideouts, no backs. He'll start this drive going to the air. Bringing the heat. Going to try to get it himself. Got a first down. There he goes. A huge play there, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 37. That kind of play will send a surge of energy through your offense. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 40. Unloads to the right. He's got an open man. He's brought down, but what a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. The Wolverines have moved it inside the 20. To the air on 1st down. He's got it on the move. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. They've really got this offense humming. Just a 4th play of the drive, and it's 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And they... Looking downfield on 1st down. Get it out on the screen. At the 35, he's got room. He gets it past the 1st down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. That's quite a start to a drive, and now they'll snap it from midfield. A run for the quarterback. Sprinting away. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the 1st down. And the Wolverines, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Fouls through the defense.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
He'll set up to throw. Looking to get it in. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
And this offense shows they will be aggressive. On 1st and goal, they get the completion. Listen, games come down to executing in the red zone. This is a big spot.
Back to pass. Punts it out of the air. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was...
Now we'll hang on here. The coach has called a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied and the timeout is gone. This is a money play on 3rd and goal.
Here we go, here we go. Ready, go.
Trying to power it in. Into the... Great place to start for this offense.
Ready.
He wastes no time and comes out throwing. It's caught downfield. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7.
1st and goal.
Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. They'll move the wide receiver.
If you're going to be a quarterback in the Heisman race,
Going for the goal line, and they're going to score. This offense has it with really good field position. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Fires to the middle. He's got it on the run. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. The Wolverines trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Looks like the offense will just take a knee.
And a running game can be really hard to stop when you got so many guys that can do some damage. And this defense is taking some licks. This QB's made them look silly a couple of times, but they're starting to adjust. Gotta like that play right there, getting to him and getting him on the ground.
Well, this quarterback has had a lot of success burning this defense with his legs. That time, though, there was nowhere to go. Give the defense credit. They won their one-on-ones up front. Tremendous speed getting to him and bringing him down for a TFL.
I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game, possible upset, 2 really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear. There's only one really good team. It was them. They were the favorite, and they just made a point of it.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equal. One of these teams is a college football playoff contender. The other simply is not. And that demonstrated itself today. The higher-ranked team is a team with national championship aspirations. They've got so much talent. They look good today.
That will put the wrap on things from here for David Powell.